Starting.
Yeah, it's working.
It
We are live.
says you're on live. I'm not sure though. It says it still counting down. I don't know why it's showing that. It should be doing
Okay.
blah blah blah. Oh, I can hear. I can say. I'm gonna close this window. It's so annoying. Okay, I can have my chat in here. So instead of showing my stupid face, I'm gonna change my face to the uh, my screen, so it would be
Okay.
better. Screen share
Okay.
this. Okay. Instead of I'm gonna show you.
Oh
Okay,
no,
presenting
upward.
to everyone. I think I'm good to go. Okay, so I'm going to try introduce you to my audience. So I'm here with Mario Luango, and we are gonna talk about freelancing and stuff. And probably we're gonna talk about how to live by the beach and do your thing from there and live your life, instead of
Uh,
doing 8 to 9
that's good.
jobs, 8 to 6 jobs. Okay, so please introduce yourself to my audience. And
Okay. Well, first of all, many thanks for having me an interview. It's very nice
yeah,
to
by the
talk
way,
with
this is
you.
like a first English interview.
Whoa, I'm sorry
Yeah.
about that because my English is not the best one. I am from Spain, so my language is not English. I should be speaking Spanish, but I think it would be worse if I did if I do like this. So we will do it in English.
Okay.
First of all, I am a software developer. Okay. Well, I studied computer science like 10 years, no, 20 years ago.
Oh.
I have 38 years right now, and I've been working for like a freelance for the last 5 years or so, more or
Mhm.
less. And well, maybe I can start by explaining how I got to working in freelance. Maybe a little of
Yeah,
my
I
story.
think I think we should start talking about why did you choose to be a programmer, and what was
Okay.
your how did you started it? Like I wanted to show to our our audience that like every developer might be the
Hmm.
same, or I might not. I'm not sure though. But I want to see how you started your career and how you ended up.
Okay. Yeah. When I was very young, I remember that my parents bought an old computer, uh, an Spectrum. I don't know if you recall that name, but
I
Spectrum
don't think
was
so.
a portable one for the kids
Oh,
and for
so you were
home
the
entertainment.
rich kid, right?
Not really, because it was an old one. It was not the first-hand computer. It was a
Yeah.
second-hand computer.
Oh.
Uh, at the time, there were more powerful ones, but I had this, and it
Uh-huh.
had a basic compiler or interpreter or something like that. And I
Uh-huh.
started programming basic things when I had like 8 or 10.
Really?
Uh, yeah, because I had a brother that was like 4 years more than me. I have a brother older than me. So he was teaching me how to program simple things like changing color or something like that, and I like it.
Wow.
So I,
How old was your brother?
well, maybe I had 8, so he had like 15, something like that.
Wow. So
And
your 15 brother taught to coding like a 8, bro. That's like a crazy. Sounds like crazy. Awesome.
no, it was very fun. It was like playing. We didn't have a lot of games
Uh-huh.
at the time, so we had to like play with the computer.
Entertain yourself, right?
Yeah,
Was it G Basic or Pascal? What was the language you were, feeling?
What Basic? For the Spectrum, the code was Basic. It was a Sinclair Spectrum Plus. Okay, so I started like doing a stupid thing with Basic, and then I was in a school, and then I had to decide what was I going to study at the college and university, but in the meanwhile I had tried already. I was programming with TCL and a little Linux, and I was coding already before the.
You were a bright child.
Not really. I was not really bright, but well, I was just having fun. And then I decided to study computer science in Spain, and so I did it. And when I left here in Spain, it was very, very easy to get a job. Right now, here in Spain, we are going out from a crisis, okay, a 10-year crisis. But at the time, we were a more or less not really rich country in Europe, but well, in the average. Right now, we are maybe the third country, the third poor country in Europe. But at the time, we were like at the average, and it was very, very easy to get a job when I finished my studies in computer science. So I started working in a couple of companies. I've been working for a company in the standard way for 8 to 10 years, maybe, because I finished with 21 and
if you remember,
been working.
Look, I have a question here. If you remember your first job, what was your a first task on your first job?
My first task in my first job was doing a website at the time where no one knew how to do that, and neither me. I didn't know how to do that because I was already coding, but I was doing things with programming stuff, nothing with the web. So that was my first task in a real job, and the nice thing was that they were not paying me at all, and it was the beginnings are always like that. You invest using your time because you won't get any money. You are starting a thing. So I decided I knew that I wanted to do that job, but they decided they didn't want to pay me, so I did it anyway. And I learned a lot, but then I changed to another company, and I started programming, coding software for AutoCAD. I don't know if you know this is a software for architects.
Yeah, I know.
I started doing Lisp things like plugins for AutoCAD and things like that.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, it's very nice. But it was like 15 years ago, so I don't remember anything. And I've changed a lot of. I've done a lot of things during those years. So at the end, I finally found a good job in a company. It was a car rental online website. Okay. And I was working there for 8 years.
And that's very long.
Yeah, it's really long, and I became the technical director there.
Oh.
So yeah, it was kind of a small dream come true because it was at the time it was an internet-based company in Spain. It was not very easy to find one in my country, in Spain. So for me, it was
you
very,
were like
very nice.
probably getting paid very, very nicely, right? Like you should be making a fortune there, or not?
I was having a good money at the moment, but right now I am earning more as a freelancer.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, because you have to think that I was working in a standard way in a Spanish company, so I have the Spanish salaries.
Yes.
So it's completely different if you choose instead of sticking to your country, you choose the whole world. The salaries are different. So
I have really private question. I don't know if you want to answer to that. Like how much it's the payment in Spain. How much it is? Is it like for average programmer?
well, things got very worse during the last 10 years. As I said, we were in a crisis. So I was getting like 2,500 before the crisis, and right now I know that the people in the same place they are like 2,000 or less. Like, but I am talking about a very high qualified people.
Okay.
It shouldn't be like that. And if you compare with the salaries for the rest of Europe, they are maybe they are twice as much as the salaries in Spain.
Okay.
Overall, anyway, the country is not very expensive. Okay, the country is cheap, but
payment is lower.
things are not very good for the software developers. Now the things are going up again. But at the time, I had a very good salary, but for the place, but I decided to move.
Okay.
I had my girlfriend in another city, and I decided to go to live with her. And at my company, they said to me that was the first time that I was like trying the remote thing and not the freelance thing, but the remote thing.
Because how did you find that remote job? Like
No. It was first. I was in my standard job. I was the technical director, and I said to them, I want to move to another city, and they said to me, okay, you can do it. You will work
as remote.
By remote, as remote, and I started doing like that, and it was very nice for me at first. But,
at first,
but then I was the first remote remote job for the company. I was the first one in the company doing that thing. So they didn't know how to treat me, and it was the first time that I was working remote. So I didn't know how to treat them and how to work.
Yeah.
These are things that you have to learn, because in that moment you stop becoming like a person, and you start becoming more like a business, like an enterprise, because you have to be proactive. You have to be giving your where you are in each moment and what are you doing.
Constant updates should be going out, and
that's it. So it was my first test at going remote. I liked the remote thing, but I didn't like the way that the company working with me. And the thing is, in Spain, things are now changing, but because they are like 10 years below the north of Europe, technologies and everything like that. So I was more or less the first in the country. No, I was with a lot of people, a lot of software developers like me. They were doing the same thing, but we were the first one in Spain doing that thing. So I decided that I was not very happy with that. I had savings because I had a good salary. So I decided to go freelance and try to invest in learning to go freelance, because I was saying that at the time in the rest of the world were being a reality. I started by checking the forums and checking the websites and the blogs and reading stories from people that they were working as freelance and they could live. They were earning money and they could live with that. So I tried. At first, my first 6 months were a complete disaster. Because you have to learn a lot of things, because as I said, when you start going freelancing, or first being remote and then going freelancing, you change from a software developer to a company. You are a company of only one developer. Yeah, of only one person. So you have to create your online marketing thing, your online profile, and you have to create the I don't know how to say it. Your hooks with the rest of the business that will hire you. It's not as easy as I am a developer. Please contract me. You have to know the market. You have to know the websites that can offer you jobs. You have to know what prices you can charge. You have to know what kind of profile is appealing for the kind of company that you want to work with. At first, I had my first problem was a mental problem. Was something in my head.
Okay.
Because I thought I live in Europe, but I'm sure that my price will be beaten by the Chinese or the India or the indie boys or the indie programmers, you know.
Okay.
But the thing is not like this. The world is very big, and there will be always a company that wants to use your profile. But you have to be sure that your profile is stable, that you have like years of experience, and that you are validated by the community. Depending on the community that you are using, for example, here we have the Upwork website. It's very nice. I've been working with Upwork for a lot of months. But you have to start by just checking what jobs, what projects they are offering. You can browse in the projects, and when I start with a project, I kind of work 8% for that project and 20% just to see what is happening in the world. You know, like each day, I spend the eight of the time working, and like 1 hour or 2 hours just looking the different websites and just looking what is changing, what should I do to get more profitable projects, what should I learn to be there, like to be visible. So at the end, it's a word. It's being a freelance is not for everyone. If you want to just work in a thing, you are not a good freelance. You have to want not only to work, but you have to be lurking be looking all day for what is happening, and you have to be a very
like a new jobs and new things and like a new projects coming in, everything. You have to monitor everything every day.
That's it, because you're a business, so you are in a market, and you have a price, and you have to know if your price is good, and you have you are an asset. So you have to treat you like an asset. It's something that you have to lower your, I don't know how to say it. You have to think in yourself like an asset, not like a person.
Okay.
It's not very nice, because we all think that we are the best developer, and we all think
yeah.
But no, at the end, for a job, for a project, it's not the important thing.
Okay.
The important thing is that you are realistic in your aspirations, and that you work, in a long term to get your aspirations better. But at first, my first 6 months were terrible. I didn't got any project.
I did a lot of all 6 months.
For 6 months, man. I did not get.
Lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I was learning my position in the market.
Okay.
So I did a lot of tests for different companies, and I did not pass them. And I started. Somehow I got a project. I don't know what the
somehow.
First, somehow, because
just randomly.
Think about one thing. During these 5 years, I've only made 2 projects for Spanish companies, and I am a Spanish guy, so no one would help me in my country. Language was a barrier for me too. But somehow someone gave me a project.
Yeah, wanted to pay you. That's crazy, right?
then what I did was do that project almost for free.
Okay.
When I had my they wanted to pay me, but I decided that I wasn't going to get the money. I got a little money, but I said to them that it was okay for me, that it was an investment. You have to think like a company, so you have to invest. And if you don't have money to use AdWords or something like that, you are investing with your time. So I invested my time, I invested myself, and I helped them. And they gave me a 5 stars. I don't know how to say it. A 5-star rating.
Yes.
And then I got another project, and I did more or less the same, but I started like earning more money, and they gave me 5-star rating, and things got better and better. And sometimes I still get the good thing that you can have is that in a 5-year term, they are still contacting me to offer me sometimes jobs. The first companies. Okay, so you have to look. You have to think in very long time. You cannot do things like stopping a project in the middle. You have to always finish your projects. You have to always be there just to answer the people, even if you're not working and they contact you. You can say them, okay, tomorrow we will see it, but you have to be there. Yeah, that's it. You have to be a stable thing, because you are in nowhere. You are in a company that no one knows. And you have to be like your online identity has to be always on always there.
Okay.
If you can do it, it's very important. Another thing that I learned about the online identity.
Okay.
Last year I decided to go to South America for a couple of months.
Okay.
And I decided, think about that, from Europe to South America, and I decided to be working from there. But I didn't manage to get a good bandwidth. My internet speed was very low, and I lost 2 projects because of that.
Okay.
So there are a couple of there's I got a rule for that. I learned that if you want to work with the first world, you have to have the same thing as the first world have. So if you have to invest in good bandwidth, in good internet, in good speed, you have to do it, because if not, you cannot charge as many dollars or euros as you want, because you won't get the good project, the first world project. That's very important. I decided I was trying to go there to live, and when that happened, I decided to move back to Spain, and I will try it again in a year or so when the internet is better at the prices there. You know, it's so you have to be always thinking about how to work better and to be
like make your environment right. Like
that's
get
it.
your best environment possible.
Yeah, that's it.
Look, I have a really small question here. Like, you're talking about your clients, like first clients. Where were they from? Like, was it from US or?
I think my first client at the time. Let me think about that, because it was a man from New York.
Oh,
yeah, and it was a stupid thing. It was a Google Glass software.
Okay.
I didn't have Google Glass. I didn't know how to program that thing.
Okay.
I learned how to do that in
So you were working for Google Glass?
No. He had a project.
He
had a project with a Google Glass, because he had one Google Glass, and he hired me to program, to code that thing. It was a very, very small project. And then I started with an Europe company from Norway, and then I had UK companies, German companies, Australian companies, a couple of Spanish one, Italian, Indian company from India. Very curious. Yeah, that's crazy, because
they have people, right? They should have.
But no, the thing is, I've learned during these years is that Indians, when they code well, they are the best ones. But when they code bad, they are the worst. This company, they hired me to work in a software already coded, because the quality was very low. So
they seek for someone better.
Yeah, and they seek for someone specialist in that thing, and I was working with them. One thing, very important thing, during those 5 years, at first I was stick to a website in Odesk. Now its name is Upwork, but at the time was named Odesk. And I thought, oh my God, if they change, I will lose all my reputation.
Okay, yeah, that's correct.
So one important thing is that you don't stick to only one. one.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've lately I've been getting a nice thing, because I've been trying to create a good LinkedIn profile.
Yes.
My last project,
Mhm.
I did not seek for the project in any in any website.
Mhm.
They offered me directly the project by LinkedIn.
Yeah. That's like a
Okay,
good
so
point. Yeah. Very, very good point.
it's very important. You have to look for your keywords
Mhm.
in all the websites that you are working with. You have to look for your keywords. Your keywords have to be
Precise.
the things that the people is looking,
Yeah.
and you have to do it in the rest of your profile, in the rest of your profiles. For
Yeah.
example, LinkedIn. I've been contacted like 3 or 4 times by companies offering me a project or a job, something like that,
That's crazy.
because they are changing. They are changing the way they work, and they are getting more active at looking for the
Mhm.
people. There's also a website. It's called TopTal,
Mhm.
uh,
What is the name?
like this. I think it's TopTal.
Uh, I,
TopTal.com.
total?
Okay.
Can you
Yeah,
type
and
it?
this is the
Can you
yeah.
type it
It's
to me? T O
TOTAL
T O.
top, like
Top.
no, TOP
Okay.
TAL
T L A.
TAL no TAL.
Okay.
Okay.
Talent.
.com.
This one? Top
Top
talent.
Talent Agency.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Top talent. Let me just type com.
No, but this
Just
Top
top.
Tal.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Now
that's
I.
the first one. And
Okay.
this is the standard new way of getting freelance or consulting.
Okay.
Uh, so they are a bunch of companies like this.
Mhm.
They make you an interview, and
Uh huh.
they start looking work for you. They get, of
Okay.
course, they get a profit from you,
Mhm.
but they look for you the jobs. So
Okay.
they are changing. The thing is, everything is changing constantly. 5 years ago, it
Yes.
was different. Now there are like that kind of companies, and maybe
Mhm.
5 years from now, it will be different. But
Yeah.
if you want to live from this, you will have to invest your time in noticing things, like in
Yes. We're gonna see
okay,
changes.
yeah,
How the
noticing
market's
changes.
going, right?
That's it. That's it. But
Okay. I have really small questions here.
yeah,
Excuse me.
tell me.
So you were walking around the globe, that's for sure. Like, how was your time? Like, how did you manage to, manage your projects when you are in Spain and your client is in India and in New York, everywhere? Like, it should be. How did you manage to do that? Okay, you have to stay
Okay.
late or something.
Suffering a lot. No, not really. The thing, no, the thing is just being flexible in that. They want if and like um, having one thing in concern.
Hmm.
It's like if they want a good coder,
Hmm.
if you are a good coder and you are working in a long term
Hmm.
situation, and you are
Hmm.
getting all the correct ratings, and you
Hmm.
are getting your keywords correctly, and you are doing your projects correctly,
Hmm.
at the end I prefer to be contracted by quality, not by, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
If they want a quality coder,
Uh-huh.
they won't
Like a fast,
be.
I need this as soon as possible right now, something like that. You just ignore them and you just had to
That's it.
get
That's
someone
it.
like this quality
That's
instead
it.
of okay.
That's it. They won't be disturbing you a lot They will be,
Okay.
and if you are working with the good manners, you know, like, okay, I will do this in 5 days, and you are sending them each day like a short message,
Okay. Okay.
what I did, things like that. You have to be proactive because you are a company. You are
Yes.
not
Exactly.
one coder with a boss that says, okay, do it for tomorrow. No, it's not like this.
Okay. I got
So
it.
you have to change your way of working.
Yeah, the way of working. Okay, so you have to be proactive. So you need to find the correct job, and when you're doing them, they're not gonna bother you as much like a company. So you have to be proactive,
That's
and
it.
you have to be feeding them, all the information you did for the day and something like that. And then there's the
That's
language.
it.
I have a question about language. So
Yeah.
okay, you just use only English, or you speak multiple languages? I don't know, like.
No, I just speak English and
Okay.
Spanish. My English is not very good, as you can see. Uh,
This is very, very good. Way better than mine.
Not really. No, it's better written than spoken. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I can write better than speak, and
Okay.
this is very nice. This is very nice because this was a mental thing at first, also for me,
Mhm.
because I thought that everything was going to be like talking, but
Okay.
no.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
When they contract a remote or a freelance,
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to lose their time, so they don't want to do a lot of interviews.
Okay.
So it will be better for you if
Mm-hmm.
you write very well and if you are proactive in that thing before they try to contact you. You have to give them the information.
Okay.
So you solve a lot of problems, and one of the problems that you solve is that your language may not be as good as you want.
Okay.
So and as good as they want,
Uh-huh.
but as you gave them already the information, and
Okay.
you are maybe asking them some questions,
Mm-hmm.
they can just reply you with a message. And another thing is that when companies use remote software developers and freelance, they usually know how to treat them.
Okay. That's good.
And they will accept that maybe you are not the best English speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have to just find your kind of company. You
Okay.
have to just look for in Odesk, for example. You can look for new companies, companies that spends a lot of money in projects, or you also can check for how they pay, if they pay a lot or not. Maybe they don't pay a lot for the projects. So you can more or less create different profiles of company, and
Mm-hmm.
you can stick to one, and you can try to work with one profile of company. And I
Mm-hmm.
decided to work with companies that looks for quality,
Yes.
but they are not paying a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but and they are more or less used to work with remotes. So they
Okay.
already spent like $30,000 the last year working with remotes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, okay, this is one for me. I'm
Okay.
going to apply for this project,
Okay.
or I'm going to try to contact them by LinkedIn or by
Mm-hmm.
email or something like that. Another thing is that you always have to try things different than the rest of the remotes,
Okay.
of the freelance. If they are contacting them with the same price
Mm-hmm.
and the same words, you have
Okay.
to change your price or change your words, or change even the way that you contact with them. Maybe you can find the email and you can contact them directly,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe something like that is very, very useful,
Mm-hmm.
because they will say that you are interested, because you are, as I said, you are a company right now. You are a business, one-person business. So you have to
advertise yourself, right?
Yeah, advertise yourself, but in a proper way. You cannot be.
Yes. You can't, promise things that you can't do, right?
This is another very important thing. Thank you for saying that. My Google Glass project was the first one that I did that I didn't know anything.
Okay.
And it was a little nightmare for me. And I decided that I was no longer doing that thing. And I had different projects, but sometimes I had to say no to some projects because it was not my thing. It was maybe for Java, and I'm not an expert in Java, or maybe it was for I don't know what, and I said no. You have to do it because maybe it will happen. It happened to me once that I said I'm not expert in that, but they said to me at the like 2 months later than that, they contact me and they offered me a different project, but they knew that I was capable of doing that project.
Okay.
It's important. It's important.
Yeah.
And sometimes another thing that happened to me was that the Norway company contacted me once to complete a task. And when the task finished, months later, they contact me to create a mobile application. It was the same guy that hired me at the first time to a different company. And when he was in a different company, he had that task of a mobile application, and he contacted me, but we were not friends.
He trusted you, right? There's a trust relation between you. That's good to know.
That is. And it's everything because you have to think in long term. So if you are starting with this, and you are not getting any projects, don't have a problem, because it's a long-term thing. Maybe you will be living from this in 5 years or in 3 years. That's why when someone asks me if they should go with freelancing, I always said the same. You should go, but you should start when you don't need it. Because
look, you need to start when you don't need it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's it. Because I started with when I need it. I left my job and I decided to go freelancing, and I had some savings, but I thought that it was going to be easier.
Okay.
So my first
not.
and it was not. My first 6 months were completely empty, no projects at all, and I spent my savings. So when I got my first project, I didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
and you did it for free.
But I did it for free because I still could wait for a month or 2 more, and then thanks to that I started to get the real good projects. But it was not very good because I need it. and lately, what happened was that I left a company.
Yes.
Osir.
Yes.
And I decided to go back to freelancing. And I thought, oh dear, I've been working for this company for months, and I will start again at getting projects, or maybe not, because if it's like the first time, I will be 6 months waiting until to get. But it didn't happen like this because I had the experience.
Okay.
And I had the contacts. So I waited for 2 months or less for my first project. That's it. So
how long usual projects take? How what is your usual project length of life or something? I don't know. How should I say?
Yeah. this is another important thing. As I said, this is a market, and you can create different profiles for the different companies depending on how much they pay to the freelance, or how many projects they have, and you also can look for very big or small projects. It depends. It will depend on you. It's kind of I don't know how to say about that, because I've done a lot of different projects, but lately I prefer to stick with long projects, because they are more stable. But the short ones are very, very, very good, because if you have a project in a 1 month project, it means that if you are very good, maybe you can finish it in 15 days or 3 weeks, and then you will have the money if you are working for a fixed price. This is dependent. There's also one thing about the fixed price or the hourly rate. If you are getting long projects, I prefer to stick to an hourly rate.
Okay.
Because sometimes the project, sometimes the company decide to quit the project, and maybe they won't be paying you all the things that you wanted. And if you are working, and if you are working in an hourly rate, they will be paying you by
constantly,
week,
like a weekly,
things like that. But if you are sticking to small projects, it's very nice, because you will get the money, maybe more money, because it's a risky business, so you can ask more money, and maybe you will have more projects at the same time if you want to do that thing. But I do not recommend doing more than one project at the same time, because at first you think that it's possible.
It will be easy. I can do everything.
That's it. Yes. That's it. But you have to remember that you are a company. That you are not a coder. Maybe you can code it, but you also have to spend 20% of the time of the day looking for what's happening in the market, and you also have to contact your clients each day, or being there. And sometimes you are in another project, and sometimes they contact you, and sometimes you lose a project because of that, because they see that you are not working with them. So I do not recommend doing more than one project, maybe two, if one of the projects is really, really, really small. But at the same time, there's one thing that you have to know, is that if you are working only with one project, you won't be making a living working as a freelancer, because
it shouldn't be enough.
Yeah, there's a gap between getting projects, and this is a gap that no one is paying you. So the thing is, the trick is, when you got a project, you have to start looking for new projects, but only when you are like a month maybe, or 2 weeks before you finish that project. You have to start looking harder for your next project.
Okay.
So as I said, you are a business. You are not a company. That's why the agencies like TopTal, they are very good, because they are looking for your projects. So maybe they are getting much more money from you. But they are giving you job, and you are not
constant job.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I have a question here. So process, like how your, looking for project starts? Like, how did you? Like, you just randomly go to the websites, or how did you start your day? You gave me these websites, like one is Upwork, one is Freelance. How did you start your looking for your project?
I will open Upwork, for example, and I will start looking for my skills. For example, I'm a C# software developer, so I will start looking for C#. That's it, and I will start looking for the fresh new projects. No, you are looking right.
I think I'm on the wrong side.
Yeah, that's it. You are on the wrong side.
I have to become freelancer first to start searching.
Yeah,
right.
That's it. That's it. You should start looking for the projects, and you should start like noticing the kind of project that you decided to work.
Okay.
I don't know, like if you are a C# like me, or a Java developer, start with Java, and then you go filtering the projects that you want to apply, and you have to be sure that you have to be realistic, like a company, and think that you are investing in advertising, because you will apply for maybe 100 projects and you will get maybe 2.
Okay, that's great to know.
Okay,
don't expect much.
This is that was my first 6 months. Maybe later, when you have a reputation, they will contact you directly, and they will offer you the projects. That what is happening to me right now is that. But at first, you will be. You don't have to think that the project that you
one.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I found my project, I'm going to apply, and then you say, okay, I'm going to bet, because this project will be mine. No. You have to apply for 100 projects and you will get 1.
Okay.
But this is the first, and this is the important.
Okay.
And maybe in the next month you will apply to 100 projects, and maybe you will get 3. but
nothing.
It's very important. Or nothing. No, that's it. You have to be sure of that.
Okay.
And so that's why I said that you have to try it when you don't need it.
Okay.
But the thing is, if you are working right now and you are starting to do freelancing, you won't be. You cannot get the full-time projects, because they know it, and you won't get the ratings. So you will have to stick to your possibilities. You have to be realistic, and you have to look for the projects that you can do in 3 hours each day. So very small projects. Okay. For example, I remember that once I did the exams, the coding exams of a guy. He has a practice. He had to create an Android application, and I did it. It was very, very, very easy, but it was in a new website. So I had to create a new reputation, and that was what I got. And I did. I felt very stupid because he almost paid me like I don't know, like $20, like $20 for a couple of days of work. It's like nothing, but I did it anyway. So you have to be realistic about that. You have to.
Okay. Since you bring both the price thing here, like how much do you cost?
Oh, how much? It depends. I
like an average.
Yeah, no. I cannot tell it to you, because it depends. It depends of what, of how I am contacted or not. This is exactly. I'm also a musician. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I also play. I play in bands. They contract me to play and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same as the software and exactly the same as the companies.
Yes.
Remember that you are a company. If you contact them,
Mm-hmm.
you are cheaper.
Okay.
If they contact you, you are expensive. So
Okay.
I have a price in my public profile.
Mm-hmm.
But if they contact me,
Mm-hmm.
the price will be maybe more than this, depending on the project.
Mm-hmm.
But if I am applying for a project that I want,
Mm-hmm.
I will be lowering my price. So because this is something that maybe would happen. It's a mental thing also. We all think that we are very good coders,
Mm-hmm.
and we all think that we need a lot of money. But if you think
Reality.
as a business,
Yeah.
if you think as a business, you won't have those problems because you think that you need the money to to continue living. So
Yeah.
so my price, it depends. But
Yeah.
as I chose companies that seeks for quality,
Okay.
it's not very. It's not. It's like 35 dollars hourly. Uh, and depending on the company, maybe it could be 40.
Okay.
And depending on the company, maybe it could be 20.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so I cannot
It
really
really
tell.
varies. Okay. So it's already an hour. I usually try to do this in like a 30 minutes, and it's never works like.
I'm sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to recap what we were talking. So you just had to create a profile, and that profile should be not only one site; it should be like a spread around all the websites you could do,
That's
and
it.
make your online, online, I don't know, like a print, and then monitor everything, monitor every project you can do, be realistic and seek out projects that you can do and apply for them. And maybe in 6 months you won't get anything. and
That's it.
and if you get the first project somehow, then you do it like a good as possible and try to be cheap as possible. All right.
That's it. That's it.
Okay,
But don't
so
forget the quality. The quality is
yeah,
very important.
quality is very, very important. So I think we have covered everything, I believe. And is it okay share your Facebook to the YouTube? It's going to be, and people might ask you some questions. I don't know.
Yeah, of course,
No
but
problem.
it would be better if you use my LinkedIn profile
Okay.
because my Facebook is personal things and this is
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so it'll be LinkedIn. In our country, not many people knows LinkedIn. That's a really sad thing. I'm always trying to convince them that use LinkedIn, but people never use it. I have no.
Well, then use my Facebook, no problem at all.
No, I'm gonna share the link now. It's already done. So yeah. Okay, I think we are done. And yeah, thank you for your time. It was really, really great to understood how to start freelancing. Maybe I should be start doing that. It sounds really nice. And I saw you live by the beach. That's like a dream come true. It's really, really nice to
No,
know.
it's not a dream. It's really real, eh?
Yeah, for me it's like a crazy stuff to have. Yeah. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you for inviting me, and hope that I've been useful for you or for someone.
Yeah, for me it's obviously useful. It's going to be starting point for me, but for others I can't tell. It was like 8 or 7 people was watching, and hopefully they got what they wanted. And it's going to be placed on the YouTube, so everybody can access it later. It usually gets like 1,000 or 2,000 views at most. So I don't expect that much anything from it. It's just purely from my like needs, and some people might need it, something like that. Okay, so bye bye.
Many thanks. Bye. Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye. See you. Okay, I'm gonna stop broadcasting it.